Oh, hey guys, I didn't see you there. Actually, I still don't see you there technically, if that makes sense. Well, guys, today... Get the mic close, goddamn you. Well, guys, today we have a real...
disgusting
treat, because one of the internet's favorite comedians / trolls, Candy Owens, she calls herself, has released a documentary, okay? And oh boy, man, we're gonna learn a lot from this. So let's take a look. Oh, wow. Whoa, wow. Okay. What was...
It's codes, you moron! They came from the Matrix. Our logo came from the Matrix, you idiot. You don't get it. Stupid.
The media is the most powerful entity on Earth. They have the power to make the innocent guilty and make the guilty innocent. Ben Shapiro. Oh, Malcolm X. I'm sullying the name of Malcolm X.
It was just gut instinct, you know?
Ah.
It just felt like we were being told, look over here,
Right.
and I guess part of my personality is when I feel that way and somebody's going, focus only here, only here, only here, I want to know,
Good shot.
okay, but what about over there?
Uh-huh.
And it wasn't personal, at least not in the beginning. It wasn't personal, I would say.
So blah, 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 Candy Owens is whining and moaning and belly aching that people were mean to her when in 2020, when people were protesting and all that, she was like,
Guys, well, he's actually a bad guy.
or whatever. People were like, Candace Owens sucks. So she's really pissed off about that. But that's not the good part. The good part is that in her own documentary, she plays this clip. Here we go.
It certainly wasn't personal until.
This video was just so disgusting, but I think it's important to understand how easily people can be corrupted into saying this type of disgusting nonsense.
Candace Owens, that rotten bitch.
If anybody is going to pretend to get their feelings hurt about what we say about Candace Owens, I will laugh and laugh and laugh.
I don't care what this did. I don't care if he personally kicked Candace Owens and her stinky pussy. I don't know if it stinks, but I imagine it does.
And we'll get to the real stuff about this documentary in a second. But when I saw that clip for a second, I had a glimmer of hope that this would be kind of a semi-interesting or informative documentary where Candace Owens is like, I actually don't have a stinky and then it's like documentary background music. One woman's quest to prove that Dave Chappelle was wrong. We went to the top doctors from around the world. Okay, but that's not what this documentary is about, guys. Come on. The thesis of this is Candace Owens is going to prove that the entire protests in 2020 were premised on a lie. That's A. And then B, that I guess the very idea of Black Lives Matter, which is a phrase, is a scam. So does she accomplish that? Let's take a deeper look.
He spent 10 months in prison for theft with a firearm. In 2002, he spent 8 months in prison for a cocaine offense. In 2004, just 2 years later, he spent another 10 months in prison for a cocaine offense. By the way, I am not saying that if you have a record, you don't deserve a second chance. I do draw the line when it comes to second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, and ninth chances.
Okay.
Two things can be true at once. You can both say that George Floyd didn't deserve to die, no matter how you believe he died. Nobody deserves to die, in my opinion. And you can also say that objectively, this person that did die was not a saint. This person was not an angel.
Yeah, this is sort of, I remember this from 2020. And we're kind of going back over it because, again, we're a little light on content for the documentary that we got to pump out. We got to pump out to do this on those Daily Wire subscriptions. But yeah, I remember this from 2020 when conservatives were saying, hey, wait a second, but this poor person has a criminal record. So then, in 2020, a lot of people were on social media trying to explain to Mimas and Peepaws of America, killing poor people or killing a person for using drugs or being on drugs, it's not really how the legal system is alleged to work.
But also, nobody knew who Derek Chauvin was.
Okay, this next part absolutely adds to my theory that they just could not get content for this thing.
literally nothing.
Nice house, Candy.
I mean, my heart breaks for her, obviously, like hearing, like she's obviously just devastated, but she's being told by his lawyer to say absolutely nothing. So she's not going to come on camera. She's not going to participate.
Hold on a second here.
Fit check.
What is going on with that fit, Candy?
He's not going to come on camera or participate because they have a pending appeal.
Okay.
And my frustration and what I expressed to her is I'm just like, so your strategy for the appeal is the same thing that your strategy was during the entire trial. Silence. Allow the media to tell the story.
Yeah, this is a bad sign in a documentary when you have a whole scene where it's like explaining why you couldn't get something to happen. Oh, man. Are you rolling? Are you guys rolling? We almost got him.
We almost got him, but then we didn't.
How much time is this going to fill? 3-4 minutes?
Martinelli, forensic criminologist and certified medical investigator and police practices expert.
Hi.
Let me just preface this. I have no dog in the fight here, all right?
This might be one of the best parts of the documentary here, where it's like Candy's almost like a murderer trying to get caught or something. But she interviews this guy, and she's building a case that the police did nothing wrong in this part. That's why she's interviewing this guy. And he's like, I got no dog in this fight. I know it's the police versus a civilian in this case, but I got no dog in this fight. Let's do a quick zoom here. Oh. I got no dog in this fight, except that I'm wearing a thing that represents the dog in the fight that I'm for. This is what makes Candace Owens, and really the whole Daily Wire crew, some of the greatest auteurs of our time, which is they do have a style, which is the phone-in style. They're phoning, especially Candy. She's just like, she's literally got her hand out for the check the entire time. Should I maybe take off this pin that totally contradicts what I'm saying completely and makes me a totally unreliable source of information? Just leave it. Who cares? These mimas and peepas can't even see because they're not wearing their glasses.
And I hope every killer cop is watching and paying attention, because today the Black Lives Matter movement served notice on you.
Okay. They play that clip and then we read, if you're not careful, the newspapers will have you hating the people who are being oppressed and loving the people who are doing the oppressing. Ben Shapiro. Oh, Malcolm X. Okay. I mean, obviously this stuff is so stupid that it boggles your mind. But are they saying the cops are oppressed here? Candace Owens is such a great example, like a comic, cartoonish example of what a lot of people go through, especially in America, I think, where it's like there's me and then there's like a bunch of money, and some of the things in the way of me and a bunch of money are like morality, honor, telling the truth. And Candace Owens has just like brushed those out of the way, and it's just like a more direct
approximately 30 million followers at the time, you can start a movement and people say, oh, well, she's going to bail me out and everything. And then, you've got celebrities like Jennifer Garner giving 4 hearts to that post. Well, they all live in gated communities and it's not their stuff being destroyed.
And you had just been looted.
Yeah, I went online and posted an Instagram of the store being looted and I tagged, thanks, Chrissy. She wrote under this post, well, like anyone's really shopped there for 10 years.
Okay, this part is kind of very like Trumpian, I guess. Because there's a thing with like Trump stuff where it's like these weird celebrities and fashion people who it's like, why do you know about this person? And like being upset about them and getting in catty fights with them, I guess. So she's like interviewing this guy. And the one guy that they found to represent the small business owners is a guy who used to sell like Von Dutch hats in the early 2000s to like Britney Spears. You can look him up. His name's Fraser Ross. He has kind of an interesting story. He was like, he would sell like bedazzled jeans to like, I don't know, Paris Hilton. Who's an early 2000s brand? Paris Hilton. But then his business kind of, and then he became a MAGA guy. It looks like one of his businesses got, the windows got broken. He says it got looted. I read an article about this, and what they don't mention is that he had insurance. And it covered it. But that doesn't really seem to be the issue. They go into this long thing about this person, Chrissy Teigen, who I barely know who that is, and it seems like they both kind of just want to talk about Chrissy Teigen, whomever that is, and that she was catty to him on Instagram, and how unacceptable that is. You know what? I will say one thing about Chrissy Teigen. I don't know who that is. You know, am I going to look it up? No. But I will say this. Chrissy is a baby's name. You know, go Christy, Christine, grow up. Again, I have no idea who she is. And if that's a problem, what I just said, I take it all back.
So we got on the phone for 53 minutes, and most of the conversation was, you need to apologize to Chrissy Teigen. I said, I'm not apologizing to her. There's no reason to apologize to Chrissy Teigen. But what are you looking for? Are you looking for...
Is this an ad for Christine Teigen? Well, I said to Chrissy Teigen, hey, Chrissy Teigen, stop being so Chrissy Teigen about this. Teigen, Chrissy Teigen. Teigen? Yeah, Teigen. Teigen and Sarah. You ever listen to them? Is Chrissy Teigen in that band? Anyway, I gotta go to the bathroom now.
As a whole. You should also say that while you are devastated by the looting of your store, you recognize it comes from a place of privilege to be concerned about replaceable items when others are protesting for their rights to live. If you apologize, I will happily remove all posts concerning your store. How does that sound?
Okay.
So
yeah, there we go. In building her case that this whole thing was a fraud based on a fraud, everything was a scam and no one should have been protesting, she takes minutes and minutes, 10, 12, 15 minutes, to document the case of two famous people having a catty bitch fest on social media, where one of them, Christine Teigen, her real name, was actually pretty reasonable. Her and her friends were actually pretty reasonable. Hey, doofus, this is about a bigger issue. Quit moaning and complaining about your dumb store. And then she goes, and if you apologize, I'll remove all the crap where I was making fun of your store. So that's the bad guy, I guess? I don't know. It literally feels like, hey, we just want to talk about a famous person.
I came to Minneapolis in May of 1997, so it's been 27 years.
27 years.
Cool.
What was this city before the George Floyd riots?
Well, it was just a typical Midwestern city with low crime and hardworking people. And
Wrong. Prince lived there.
I was watching a dumbass documentary. Chrissy Teigen, this and that. Hey!
The city of Minneapolis,
where Prince is from,
has been negotiating.
Right.
Negotiating with whom?
With the community.
Wow. So the city is being held hostage by the community that is running the autonomous zone. Do I have that understood?
That's correct.
I don't think this even exists anymore. I know that they reopened this to traffic, so cars go through this area again now. But I kind of like that moment where she's like, who controls this area? And he's like, the community. You mean this part of the city is controlled by poor people instead of rich people? She's like, I'm confused. I'm sorry. Can those people give me money for expensive goods and houses? And this guy's like, no, they cannot. These poor people control this part of the city. She's like, get the limo.
So Black Lives Matter released their 990 IRS filings. And of course, I wanted to jump right into it and find out exactly what happened to the approximate $80 million that was raised by them between July 1st of 2020 and June 30th, 2021.
Okay, so this is kind of the last third of the documentary, and she actually does get some good stuff in here, and there is some stuff that we can kind of agree with Candy on, but there's a funny little twist to it.
So there's definitely somebody home. Hello?
Candy creeping.
I was just looking to speak to whoever is at this property.
Hi.
Sir?
This morning, I woke up to Candace Owens being outside of my house.
Oh, no.
With a news crew.
Looks to be maybe in his mid-40s. Okay, I just thought this was a house for Black Lives Matter.
It's unacceptable and it's dangerous that any stranger come outside of my house.
So you're just trying to figure out if this house is actually being used for Black people in a creative space at all.
So this part, and I don't know everything about this whole story besides what I've read on like the NPR site and blah, 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 blah. But this is a little bit of this is the only part of the documentary that really makes sense, because it does appear to be true, from what I've read, could be wrong, that this organization that used Black Lives Matter in the name misspent a bunch of the money. There's nothing really new here. I mean, I think everybody agrees using a social movement to personally enrich yourself or misspend the money in some ways is not a good thing. So good on Candy for that, you know? Doesn't have very much to do with kind of the rest of the documentary, like at all.
But you know what? Man. Oh, man.
But good on Candace Owens for calling out people who scam people based on their political beliefs, you know, who scam their followers. Thank God that Candy is calling out. She's the one to do it. She's the one to do it. Wait, what's this?
He is one of the youngest Bitcoin millionaires and the creator of the Freedom Phone, which you may have seen me promoting recently.
I have.
Eric? So I instantly knew Freedom Phone was a good idea, got behind it, got sent the phone. My husband and I are sharing the phone right now, which is not okay.
If it does not help save the nation, I don't pitch it, okay? So I'm serious when I'm telling you to stop everything that you are doing, and I'm holding in my hand, literally, a smartphone that is not controlled by Apple or Google, okay? So think
Oh, what's this? MAGA influencers are pushing a phone preloaded with apps like Parler and Rumble that appears to be a vastly more expensive version of a phone made in China. Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
Sniffing.
But this is really the funniest one. And this is where we gotta, tip to Candace Owens on this one. This is where the exit through the gift shop nature of this comes from. Grift. Candace Owens loses defamation suit against Facebook fact checkers, can keep funds raised. Okay, so she was saying she was going to sue Facebook. Okay, I'm going to sue Facebook. They were putting her ass all over the media. Again, what a horrible thing that people would use a social movement to make money for themselves. This website published the disclaimer that was on the fundraising website. All donations made will be directed to an account established and controlled by Candace Owens, LLC, the lead plaintiff in the case, blah, 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 on the court of Delaware. A portion of the total funds raised, that's very good wording right there, legally. If you read that, you should say,
I'm calling bluff.
A portion of the total funds raised will be used to cover legal costs incurred by Candace Owens, LLC in relation to the aforementioned case. All excess funds will be used for other purposes by the LLC. I want more details on those purposes. I wonder what happened to that case that Candy Owens was legitimately trying to do against Facebook and wasn't just to raise money. What's this? Judge tosses out lawsuit by Candace Owens over Facebook fact check. Oh, wow. Didn't go anywhere. Didn't go anywhere.
What, in my opinion, is a complete fraud.
A fraudulent organization that uses black emotion and black pain to extort dollars from white America.
And everybody knows you're supposed to sell fake phones and fake lawsuits to extort money from MAGA America. Duh. And then you go like this.
Take the towers down now.
That's what happened. You were all lied to. That's the truth.
Thank you, Candy. Oh, wow, what a powerful documentary.
It's the Matrix, you moron.
So there we go. An excellent documentary by Candy. You know, it's a documentary within a documentary. She's actually, this is a really pretentious film school guy explaining the Candy documentary. She's inverting, okay, the what a documentary is. Because she's like, look what they're doing, but you have to look this way, okay?
Congratulations to Candy on her satirical documentary. Excellent work, you know.
And that's right, guys. You know what it is.
Oh, who's that? TK Louie. Who? TK Louie, the comedian.
That's right, guys.
Uber cars.
It's Friday. Take your Uber cars, you know, and
wipe your ass with them.
That's right, guys. It's party time. If you're watching this on Friday, join the live stream at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. Year of our Lord. Be there, guys, and I will see you later.
Bye-bye.